big news. Literally as soon as we announced Dominic Szoboszlai, Fabrizio Romano and a couple of other journalists, within like 10 minutes, were like, Liverpool are now in talks with Romeo Lavia's agents in Southampton for a potential move. And the GOAT Liverpool journalist, Indy Callier, also said Liverpool had a £30 million bid rejected. Take that with a pinch of salt, or take it with if you want to believe it. But Kev, it seems like we are interested in him. Him and Thuram have been the ones who, the talk has been around. There's a lot of people who I think would rather Thuram. I can go up with James there saying, do you would prefer Thuram? Lavia, Premier League proven, under 21, so doesn't need to go on homegrown or non-homegrown, but he will be homegrown by the time he turns 21. Started a full Premier League season. They're asking around 50 million, I think, but probably would take 40 considering they're in the relegation. They're in the Championship now. Do you see this deal being done?
I do, because then you got a 10, an 8, and a 6 that have been replaced. It then limits the amount of time that Hendo plays, and he goes into the Milner kind of role of coming on for the last 10 minutes in certain games and showing the leadership that's required in those 10 minutes to get through. It limits that time. It provides a perfect replacement for Fabinho as and when he leaves. And you've got two young players in Lavia and Basic who could dominate the number 6 role and dominate our midfield. It makes sense. I wouldn't be surprised if we also get Thuram as well, and that would be a hell of a statement if we do that. We've already done the attacking side because we brought in McAllister and Szoboszlai, 22 goals, 15 assists. So we've replaced the likes of Keita, the likes of Ox, who haven't been able to score, Milner as well, and we've replaced them with goals and assists already. That's that side done. It's now on the defensive side. Get Lavia in. He's a young, versatile 19-year-old, played 29 games last season. Yet he went down, but yeah, I'm all over it. It makes sense. It gives you the three. It's as though we've surgically went in and removed the 10, the 8, and the 6 out of our team and replaced them with better players and upgraded them straight away. So surgically, it makes sense. And then, as a bonus, you bring Thuram in as well. And there's your upgrade for the midfield for the next 6, 7, 8 years. Quality.
Yeah, FJ, you look at the ages of the players we've brought in. McAllister, 24, Szoboszlai, 22, linked with Lavia, 19, linked with Thuram, 22. As Kev said there, that's, 6, 8 years that, that'll be 4 players who would be rotating around. We've got Basic there, who's 18, 19. I'm trying to think who else. Head's gone blank, but
Harvey Elliott as well. Do you know what I mean?
Harvey Elliott, Curtis Jones.
Exactly.
If all of them live up to their potential, we have 6 midfielders who every single one of them can play multiple positions in that midfield. Yes, it would. And as well, my thought on this is Lavia is only going to be available this summer. And Thuram, if you let him stay at Nice, his price could easily double. He wants to move now. I think you go out there, you spend the 80 million, you take the hit next season because you probably would have had to buy another centre mid next season. And that gives time for them to bed in. If they are struggling, if 1 or 2 of them are struggling, then that's fine. Sit on the sidelines for a bit, watch the game. But if you had to choose one this summer, FJ, who are you choosing, Thuram or Lavia?
Ooh, wow. Honestly, I'll pick Lavia. Because I've watched more of Lavia, and he's a great player. He is a nice player, and he probably understands and got the feel of the Premier League already. So he's like, we've got a creator, we've got a box to box in. Then now he's just going to be destroying the play. He's going to be the little aggressive guy destroying the plays, reading the game plan. So he'll be a great replacement for Fabinho, So I think Lavia will be the better signing. I don't know if we'll go for 2 centre-mids. Because I'm sure we have to go for a defender. But if you do go for 2 centre mids and a defender, wow, what a summer window. But me personally, I'll pick Lavia. But first of all, we need to wait. And this is my first time of me being able to look at the comments. I've never seen the comments before. People are talking about Hendo. What are they talking about Hendo? Hendo's done his job now, lads. Now we have to move on. Now we've got we're bringing in the new, we're bringing in the new. So hopefully next season, Hendo can talk to them, chill them, make them learn and it work out. But anyway, as you said, I'll pick Lavia over Thuram.
Yeah, definitely. Colin, it's, if we look at that Thuram and Lavia thing, we have one homegrown spot left. One non-homegrown spot left. Let's say we do bring in Thuram and Lavia. That means the centre-back either has to be homegrown or we sell somebody, which it's probably going to be either Matip or Thiago. They're kind of the only two, really, non-homegrown players since we've given Adrian a contract. Do you think it's worth buying both of them now? And I feel like Thuram is probably the most... that's the one we've been linked with the most. There was rumours that personal terms have been agreed, and after the Under-21 World Cup, I feel like Lavia is a luxury, but it's a luxury that we could do with because we would need him next year since Fabinho is running on borrowed time.
Yeah, I think that's exactly the point, which is that we're gonna need another one next year. And to be able to get him in for the price that I think the Southampton probably would settle for. There was a rumor that we bid like 30, just above 30 million pounds. I think you can close that deal for between 36 and 38 with maybe 4 in add-ons. And for that price, to be able to really curate and like limit the amount of time that those young midfielders have to play, and to be able to kind of spread that workload around the entirety of the midfield, I think is so important. We were talking about we mentioned Henderson, and I think part of the reason that he really, really struggled was his workload is so high. And they mentioned as well with Bajcetic's injury, that his workload was too high for an 18-year-old or a 17-year-old. If you're able to get Thuram and Lavia both in, it allows you to rotate in a way that really makes sure that they're getting experience still, but it doesn't overload them. And by the time that then they are needed, you don't have to worry about overworking them because they've been ramped up for a year, and been able to get more experience in playing time without it having to affect their overall. So, and listen, if we end up with a third, that's what the majority of us were asking for. I will be very happy.
What, third midfielder or third?
Yeah, a third midfielder.
Because I feel like we can't get to if we get so many midfielders in one goal, it's gonna change the dynamic of everything. It's like putting everyone together.
Make us better.
You think?
We never replaced Wijnaldum. We've lost 3 midfielders this summer.
We're set to lose 2 next.
Hendo's gone as well.
Yeah.
Thiago is going to go. Like, I would rather bring.
We don't replace. You don't think we replace Gigi?
No, we never. And listen, I didn't like Wijnaldum. I was happy he left, but he was an extra man who ran and never got injured. We never replaced him. Yeah. Like, it's as simple as that. And if we can get somebody in who doesn't have the look, we saw it with Fabinho. Fabinho coming in the first 6 months was non-existent. Yeah. If we can let somebody come in and kind of be on the back for 6 months, learn exactly how Klopp wants to play him. We saw once Fabinho hit his stride, he was a monster. He was at one point probably the best centre defender in the world, and he didn't have a clue what was going on the first 6 months. So if we can bring a Lavia in, say, look, mate, here's how you're going to play. We're going to sit here on it. We're going to train you for 6 months. You don't have any pressure on you. I might bring you in for a game here and there. You don't have any pressure on you. why not bring someone in? You know, if we can do it now, I'd rather do it now than wait for next year or the year after. And then, who am I bringing in? I'm bringing both in, but over it, I would rather Thuram.
Oh,
because I don't think there's many players like him in world football, and I genuinely think whoever gets him will be getting Patrick Vieira regen.
Thuram's amazing, but it's just
Honest,
it's just and the Prem experience added together. It's like, but Thuram he on the ball and physically off the ball, he's amazing.
Yeah, look, I want both of them, but I just think right at this moment, I think we need to get the third centre mid in. For me, Thuram is Lavia is a luxury that I think would be great next season or the season after, and I would like to bring him in because I think now is the only time you're going to get him. But I think I just don't think.
How bad is Thuram? Because Thuram just came off.
That's Kone.
Kone. No, Thuram.
Yeah.
He France.
No.
For France.
Kone.
He played his first 2 games for France
There's Kone. He's out the squad now. Thuram's fine.
Mm-hmm.
So I would prefer Thuram. You don't get many 6'4". He's dense as well. Like he's not a tall. He's not a Thomas Souček 6'4".
Little unit there.
He is a tank. If you watch a highlight, he stands out like a sore thumb. He is massive, and I think that is perfect for the Premier League. You know, we saw it with Vieira when he come in. You know, the world was like, "Who are you?" Like we're used to, your Roy Keanes from the pub.
It's like a Yaya Toure. He is honestly just an absolute. People bounce off him, and I agree with Charlie. I would like both of them because it gives you the solidity then to, with the amount of games we've got. You look at this Europa League, I'll be honest, none of us want to be in the Europa League. None of us do. But we've got 3 options of getting to Champions League football through our own will and doing it in the 38 games. We go as the highest coefficient, or we do it through the Europa. We don't want to play that. Now, if you look at our games from September to January, we're playing about 8-9 games every week, every month, leading into January. I would like to have the likes of the opportunity of having Thuram and Lavia there and provide us with the selection and provide us with enough solidity in there to allow us to cope, because that's what will let us down when we were going for all 4. We never had that. We never had that kind of balance of being able to go strong and go deep. We will be able to if you bring those 2 in. I agree. You know, it may only be one or the other, but I'll be honest. Unbelievable to have a 6'4", 2 6'4" centre backs and a 6'4" in midfield. Oh my God, that is like, you know, it's like the Berlin Wall. You're not getting past that at all. Do you know what I mean?
So, and a 6'1" in
yeah, exactly. And everyone's 30 over 6 foot. In the, you know, even Sablotsky is over 6 foot. You know what I mean? So 6'1". You know, it gives you that opportunity. It gives you that physicality, which we missed a lot last season, and I've missed for the last couple of seasons for me.
Again, the point that sticks out to me about Lavia is that, and you're right, Premier League proven. He gets a whole season. He is still 19. He's 19 years old. Him and Steph Bajcetic were both born in 2004. Like they are children.
Make me feel old now. Call me for that.
They were born in 2004. Like that. I don't think we can we can't get ahead of, if we just get him. You know, if we just get in Lavia as well, he's a player, and you know he is going to be and his continued growth under Klopp. I'm convinced of. But you know, like we're talking about an 18 and a 19-year-old being like, you know, is the future of our number 6 position as of next year. So might as well give them the time to to build it, to make sure that they're both able to handle that sort of workload rather than just hoping that we can find someone next year that is able to do it.
Yeah, definitely. I think we're maybe Thuram is for some people the choice we go with now. Rosie said, oh no, not Rosie, Oliver, there we go. It's a no-brainer. Can't believe it's even debate. And Belgium, Thuram 100%. Caroline says we need a DM. So in that case, probably get Lavia. So it's it's a good debate, to be fair. Everyone's entitled to their opinion.